Three to the left, two to the right. From the 12, back to pass. Here's Brissett, looking, firing, end zone. Oh, what a catch by Njoku! Touchdown! What a catch by the Chief! A touchdown!
He put it up where only the Chief could get it, and he went up with one hand, only his left hand with the defender draped on him, and stared it in. What a catch by the Chief when you needed it the most. Oh, my goodness, Jim.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Fifth Quarter Podcast. We're back. We took a little 2-week, what would we want to call that?
A hiatus?
Hiatus. We went to Mexico for a week for work, and then last week was Thanksgiving, and yeah, just caught up with a busy week.
We were a little occupied on Wednesday.
Yeah. Wednesday during the day at work, and then Wednesday night. So, nevertheless, we're back, and we got a great episode. Jumping right into it, Sean asked on Twitter, after a great Browns team win and Watson officially returning, will he be enough to win out and finish? Will he be enough to win out to finish the season? 28% of the people said, yes, I'm locked back in. 49% of the people said, we'll see after 12-4 against the Texans. 23% of the people said, not a chance, season's over. And I'm locked back in. I'm back at it like a crack addict. I'm locked back in, baby. All right. You know, I really just had no desire to watch the Browns play. But now I do. I'm locked back in. So
it was all live.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to that. I just like 12-4. I feel like that's like we know what Deshaun Watson's going to do. It's the Texans. You know what I'm saying? I want to see how he's going to play against the Bengals, who have recently got it together, and the Ravens, who are also, you know, top-tier team. So 12-4, I don't know. And not a chance, season's still over. I can resonate with that to a certain extent because, yeah, we only have a 4% chance to make the playoffs. So, you know, is the season over? Sure. But also in a sense of, okay, we're finally going to see what we paid all this money for. So is the season really over? Because it gives us something to look forward to next year. And I know that's the Browns fans' typical catchphrases. There's always next year, but that's just how I feel. But to answer the question of the week, my opinion, I'm locked back in. I'm ready to go. I can't wait for Sunday. I feel like it's the season opener. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I clicked lock back in without a shadow of a doubt. Just we know the season's been rough. There's been some ups, a lot of downs, but seeing how I won't get into the game, but coming into this week off of what they did last week, it's hard not to be extremely excited for a player like Deshaun Watson. The offense has been clicking for quite a while now, and it's almost like, Brissett's been good. He hasn't lost any games, but Watson will win you games. And that's what I'm most looking forward to. I don't think there's a better game that he can come back for than against his old team in their stadium with kind of everything else going on. It's like it's a prove it game for him. He knows he has to go out there and kind of silence the critics, and there's going to be a lot of boos and everything of that nature. But the dude's an animal. Let's not kid ourselves. You can like the guy, dislike the guy. I won't get into that subject. But on the field, the guy's amazing. Let's not lie and say, oh, he's not a top 5 quarterback or he only hasn't played in 2 years. The guy's a freaking insane quarterback, and he's our guy. So it's every video I see him post on Instagram or someone who posts a hype video, it's like, oh my God, I can't wait till Sunday.
Yeah, it's, and I think it's natural to think like a one thing that a thought that I have is like, okay, is it too good to be true? Like, we have this great quarterback with being a Browns fan, and with our luck, we'll get him and he'll be shit. You know what I mean? The chances of that are highly unlikely, but I don't know. That's just how I think. So But, nevertheless, moving forward, we'll talk more about Deshaun Watson later in the episode. I know we really haven't talked a lot about him this year just because to keep all the bullshit just out of our discussions. But now that he's back and he's, served his time, I think it's rightfully so we're allowed to talk about Deshaun Watson. So just to get that out of the way, moving forward, let's talk a little bit about the Browns versus Buccaneers recap. The game was incredible, from the tailgate to just everything. We took Sean's sister, shout out to her, got Sean a party bus for his birthday, and we took a party bus, this Mercedes Sprinter van, up to the muni lot, and we just got lit, and then just to top the tailgate off with the way that the game went is just like incredible. You know what I mean? Just from Jacoby Brissett, this probably was his best game of the season, wouldn't you say?
Oh, Brissett?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah, as far as all-around play and his clutchness.
His stats weren't anything crazy. 23 of 37, completed 62% of his passes for 210 yards, 1 touchdown. He did have an interception, and he did
That
get
was
sacked.
a Hail Mary before half.
Yeah, which I don't even remember seeing. So if I didn't see it, it didn't happen. So he doesn't have an interception. And then he did get sacked 4 times. But just, I don't know. He just was clutch. To come down with, there was under 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Get a game-tying drive and a game-winning drive.
You
can't ask for much more.
After I think we had the ball we had the ball once already in overtime.
Yeah.
So,
but the Njoku touchdown, there was 10 seconds left in the game and it was 4th down.
Yeah, when we got the ball, there was 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. We made the Buccaneers punt, and we got the ball with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. And I just remember we were getting ready to leave because I'm like, this is bullshit. And it was 4th and 10, and I'm just like, there's literally no way that we're gonna score right here because it was 4th and 10, but the first down was literally on the 1 yard line. So like, you got to score. And he just drops back, slings it, and you just see Njoku fall down in the end zone, and then everybody goes nuts, and it's like, holy shit. And then you see the replay. I didn't even see him catch it one-handed until they replayed it. You know what I mean? So It was just like Jacoby Brissett really, really shined in that drive. You know what I mean? So he what a game to go out. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, you can't ask for much more in the last game. He knows he's done. Go out with a bang, and he did just that.
And one thing I want to talk about before we move on and talk about Chubb and the defense and everything is what's his name on Twitter? Reflog or whatever his real name. I don't know his real name. He was on his podcast yesterday saying the jersey of all the failed quarterbacks that we have, Jacoby Brissett should be excluded from that. And I agree 100%. I know our record.
You cannot put him on that at all.
No. I know our record says otherwise, but a lot of these losses are on the defense. And Jacoby Brissett played well in a lot of these 7 losses that the Browns have. So 100%.
Quarterbacks. He didn't fail by any means.
No. He did exactly what he was brought here to do. And I'm very happy that we played Jacoby Brissett instead of fucking Josh Dobbs. Because there were a lot of people in the beginning of the season talking about, we'll play Dobbs.
He's not even on the team anymore.
Yeah, so get cooked. Nevertheless, moving forward, Nick Chubb, once again, we talk about this every episode. Nick Chubb being Nick Chubb. 26 rushes, 116 yards, 4.5 yards per carry, and a game-winning touchdown. It's just Nick Chubb doing what Nick Chubb does. At this point, you shouldn't expect anything less, unless he's on, I don't want to say a snap count, but there have been games where he's only ran the ball like 11 times, which is very frustrating. But we're not here to talk about the negatives. We're here to talk about the positives. So, yeah, Nick Chubb just played great, had a handful of like big runs, the touchdown and overtime included. The defense. Now, I know they did put up 17 points, but they didn't have any like, I don't know, the defense, didn't they have a couple stupid pass interference calls? I think there was like 2.
Yeah, they did.
That were like, come on, like, you know what I mean? But Myles Garrett had, how many sacks did he have?
1.5, I think.
Yeah.
And his sacks were in big spots.
Oh yeah.
Third down and manageable, needed to stop. They're on the plus side of the 50 or, pushing down the field, and he just comes up with a sack.
Yeah. So that's what we need from him, and that's what I want to see coming into the like finishing stretch of the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we need him to stay hot, without a doubt.
100%.
He's the heartbeat of the defense, whether, people complain about him taking plays off or not. When he's hot, the whole defense is hot.
And I think you saw that against the Buccaneers. So, and I think that only gives us momentum. This game overall was a huge momentum boost moving forward for Sunday's game and Deshaun Watson coming back. You know what I mean?
I agree, 100%.
It's like you come off a big overtime clutch win, and then you get your franchise quarterback back from suspension. So I don't know. Martin Emerson, I seen that he held Mike Evans to, I don't know what the stats were, but it was like 1 or 2 catches for like
2 catches for 31 yards. But he quoted that tweet and said 0 catches for 0 yards. So I don't know exactly what they're
the way that I perceived that was he didn't do anything. So yeah, you had 2 catches for 31 yards, but you didn't score. You didn't have any big plays. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I think overall,
and you
he
lost
had 2 catches for 31 yards, but like on the plays he caught the ball, he was like, it wasn't man, or he was in a different zone or something like that. That's how I took it.
Yeah,
I'd have to go back and actually look at the film to know exactly, but
yeah,
still, 2 catches for 31 yards for Mike Evans.
And one of those
doing
catches was a 28-yard catch. So
yeah,
essentially he had 1 catch for 28 yards. So, I don't know. He has played well the last couple games.
He's a stud, man.
So I'm very excited. I wish our defense could just stick to, like, keep it. I don't want to say stick together because that sounds stupid, but just hold it together and just continue to play aggressively and just how they did against the Buccaneers for the rest of the season. So I'm excited. Like I said, this whole game, this game got me locked back in, and then Deshaun Watson coming back just obviously gets me locked in. So, nevertheless, moving forward, it's only right that we talk about Deshaun Watson. I mean, it's only right. He's officially back on the team. I mean, I'm excited. I'm very excited. So, because like you said earlier, regardless of how you feel about him, he's a great football player. So from a football standpoint, I'm excited that he's back because he's a great football player. Just get that out the way. The offense with Deshaun Watson, and there's a big topic on Twitter has been, this is the first time in Nick Chubb's career that he isn't the main, like, I don't want to say target, but of like the defense.
Focal point.
Yeah, the defense's game plan coming into the game. You also have to worry about Deshaun Watson.
If you stack the box against Deshaun Watson, he will shred you.
Yeah.
Not only with his arm, but with his feet.
Yeah. Yep. And another thing that I was seeing on Twitter, and this is just from some random people that I follow that are, involved in like fantasy, they're saying that Njoku's production is going to skyrocket more than it has with Deshaun Watson.
Oh, he loves throwing to tight ends in Houston.
So
Darren Fells.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I'm excited. You know what I mean? So I think it just opens up.
You know who else whose production is going to skyrocket, and you would never guess it? Nope. Well, yeah, everyone, all the receivers is obviously going to go up, but the person I'm most...
Anthony Schwartz.
Because he's going to be that Will Fuller type of, beat the guy and Watson will get it to you. The only thing obviously Schwartz has to focus on is catching the goddamn ball, but he's fast enough to just run by anybody. We haven't seen it a lot, and there might be a reason why they haven't done it yet, because they're kind of trying to save him for Watson, so we automatically have that deep threat. And obviously you have Cooper and DPJ who can hit everything underneath, and Njoku. I think the offense is about to open up a ton.
Oh, 100%. It's what you don't know what to expect from these guys, from the offense. I think passing the ball out of the backfield improves too. We haven't seen that a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we saw. Let me see.
The passing offense is going to look completely different.
Oh, 100%. We passed the ball two times out of the backfield last week. Kareem had one catch. Nick Chubb had one catch for 16 yards. I don't know. I would like to go out on a limb and say hopefully Kareem has more looks out of the backfield in terms of like passing downs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you got to think too. There's a reason why they didn't trade Kareem Hunt if they didn't have something in store for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if they wanted to get rid of him and they could have gotten pieces, they absolutely could have. They thought, you know what, he's more valuable to the offense right now, and he hasn't been since the deadline. So that to me only makes it seem like they were waiting to kind of fully utilize his skill set until Watson came back.
Yeah, and it's like they knew that once Deshaun Watson came back, just the type of player that he is, they would be able to. I don't want to say scheme Kareem Hunt
just utilize him better.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be a completely different team.
Oh yes, 100%.
And so
I can't fucking wait.
We'll see how he looks. I'm not writing off. Now I'm not going to say that the Browns are going to lose by any means, because this is a game you cannot fucking lose. Okay, the Texans suck, and you just have Deshaun Watson back. You know what I mean? But I guess I'm preparing for him coming out rusty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I could see the first drive being something real simple. Maybe not a lot of deep shots. A couple short, get your confidence up type of throws. Like I said, the stadium is going to be insane. So right out of the gate, it's going to be boost central. Or they may just say, you know what, let's shut these people up right now. Play action first play of the game. Go deep, and if we hit it, we hit it. If we don't, we'll still be able to move the ball on the Houston Texans.
I would like to see that. I would like to see just
right out of the gate
a huge passing drive.
Huge passing drive ends in a touchdown. Deshaun Watson hits the air guitar, and I'm changing my clothes 2 minutes into the game.
Give me a 3-play 80-yard touchdown drive.
Give me one.
First play 10-yard out route, whatever. Second play incomplete pass to David Njoku. Third play fucking 70-yard touchdown pass to Amari Cooper.
I would lose my mind.
We won't be able to watch this game because I'll break whatever we're watching it on. I will literally lose my mind. So another thing to touch on before we move forward is defense obviously has to stay aggressive. I talked about that. Just holding together, keeping this momentum that they have as a defense, keep it together and play the way they did. You know what I mean? Big Myles Garrett plays, secondary playing well, and, ultimately also staying healthy.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think next week's episode talking about Deshaun Watson is going to be even better, because we're going to have some stats to back it up. There's going to be a lot of mouths shut, and a lot of tweets deleted after Sunday's game. Let me just say that. Nevertheless, that's the word of the day. Nevertheless, moving forward, take a second, take a minute, and just give a tribute to Jacoby Brissett for, like I said earlier, doing exactly what he was brought here to do and doing it perfectly for the first 11 weeks of the season. You couldn't ask for much better out of Jacoby Brissett. And I think that's one thing. That's another thing I saw on Twitter this week was a lot of people, and when I say a lot of people, I mean everybody, really coming together to just thank Jacoby Brissett and just honor him. You know what I mean? I don't think there's a single person out there that is mad with how Jacoby Brissett played through the first 11 weeks.
No,
So
not at all. No, and just
and-
the way that he carries himself, even after losses.
Oh yeah.
Like the way he carries himself like a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
A franchise quarterback, let me say that. And you just don't see that from backup quarterbacks. I mean, you put any other backup quarterback in the league in that position, and put him up at the presser after the game, and they don't talk like Brissett talks after a win or a loss. You know what I mean?
I need to be better. That's on me.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Baker
And
Mayfield's
even
favorite.
pregame before games during the week, whatever, where they're asking him, "Hey, your skill set's different from Watson." Just the way he answers even stupid questions, the guy just is a leader in every facet of the game. And his play backed it up. He had a couple games where he threw some picks. Find me a quarterback who doesn't do that. Patrick Mahomes does it.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
he played fantastic for what we, coming in. I was like, oh great, we're gonna have a backup quarterback. Season's over. And the losses weren't on him. We've discussed that multiple times. A lot of the games he was asked to do more than we wanted him to because of the defense, and he held up his own end of the deal.
yeah, and there were a couple boneheaded plays that he made, but like you said, that's what happens. You know what I mean? It happens to the best quarterbacks in the league. Look at Josh Allen with the loss to Minnesota a couple weeks ago, where he fumbled and on the 2-3 yard line. You know what I mean? It happens. You know what I mean? Yeah, we can be angry about it, at the time, but they make mistakes, and they were already, like you said, he was already pushed to do more than he can. And I don't mean that as like a jab at him. I just think, he's a backup, and there were certain games and certain moments where he made mistakes, where he was asked to do maybe what he's not 100% capable to do, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So I think he was a great offensive leader. He really, you look at it as like, okay, the Browns team is Nick Chubb's team. A little bit of Nick Chubb and a little bit of Myles Garrett. But when it comes to the offense, like, it was Jacoby Brissett's offense. You know what I mean? And I would 100% be comfortable with him playing the rest of the season. Like, if we didn't have Deshaun Watson or whatever, like, I would not be opposed to him playing the rest of the season. So, I don't know. That's all I have to say about Jacoby Brissett. He's been better. He's been better than Baker Mayfield could have ever been.
Jacoby Brissett has played better than every quarterback we've had, aside from the 1 year we went to the playoffs with Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been better than Baker Mayfield any other season that he was in Cleveland. And every quarterback before.
What about
and I will stand on that.
Brian Hoyer?
Are you serious? What about Brian Hoyer? Are you asking me if Brissett is better than Brian Hoyer?
No, I'm saying, do you think Jacoby Brissett's 11 games were better than, like, because Brian Hoyer had one decent year?
Are you talking about Brian Hoyer or Derek Anderson?
I'm not talking about Derek Anderson. I'm talking about Brian Hoyer.
1,000,000% Jacoby Brissett's season is better than any season.
No, I agree. I'm just asking your opinion. That's all.
Yeah. Yes.
I know you were a big Brian Hoyer guy back in the day.
What?
He came from the Patriots. You loved him.
Yeah, but we had Brian Hoyer when we had Johnny Manziel. So you know where I was riding with that one.
Yeah. So moving forward, big shout out to Jacoby Brissett. We know he's not going to stay in Cleveland. He'll probably be a starter elsewhere. But send him to the Colts because Matt Ryan is fucking ass. Moving on and moving forward. Quick picks, locks, and upsets time. Let me see. We don't have any stats for last week. But okay. You got yours ready or no?
No, I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay. Well, wow, that's an interesting spread. I'm not going to say the game, but that's another interesting spread. Wow. All right. Let me see. Who did the Cowboys play this week? The Colts. Well, let's Wow. Okay. My upset. Let me wow, this is the
What?
Niners. What?
The spread I'm looking at is insane.
The Niners are favored to beat the Dolphins. Yeah, this is going to be my upset. Miami is. Wait, am I looking? Yeah, San Francisco is favored to beat Miami by 4. It's in San Francisco. I don't agree with that. So yeah, Miami over San Francisco as my upset. My lock is going to be. Wow, that is interesting. My lock is going to be Washington over the Giants. That's a risky one. I don't think Washington should be favored to win that game, but I could see them winning it. But they knocked off Philly. Why not knock off the Giants? So go ahead. Your turn.
My upset is actually going to be the Giants over the Commanders. I don't see how they can have the Commanders favored. I know they just beat Philly, but aside from that, they really haven't done a whole lot. The Giants, they played a hell of a lot better this season than people want to give them credit for. They're still kind of a sleeper as far as, people are concerned because of Dallas and Philly in that division, but I'm going to take the Giants.
And like I said, I don't see Washington beating the Giants, but they're playing better than everybody expected to.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 7-5.
Yep.
So they knocked off the number 1 team in the league. And it's a divisional game. So I can see them winning. What about your lock?
My lock is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs over the Cincinnati Bengals.
Like it.
That's going to be an absolute shootout. And the last time these teams played, the Bengals had their number in the playoffs last year. So Patrick Mahomes is coming for revenge, and I think they're going to knock him off.
I like that you picked a game that wasn't like a super wide spread. I like that.
I hate doing that.
It's just like pointless because that you got like the Eagles versus the Texans. Like the Eagles are going to beat the dog shit out of them. So it's like, I don't know. So first game of the week is tomorrow night. Buffalo Bills in New England. Bills are favored by 3.5. I'm going to go with the Bills.
3.5?
Yeah.
It should be way higher than that.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bills by like +10.
I don't know because Buffalo has had a rough, past 2 weeks. They played the Browns.
Yeah.
The last 3 weeks. They lost to Minnesota in Week 10. Week 11 was the game against the Browns, which was essentially close. And then last week they had the game against the Lions where they barely won.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why I could see the spread. That's why the spread is 3.5. But yeah, I think the Bills beat the shit out of the Patriots. Then we have the Steelers versus the Falcons in Atlanta. The spread of this game is Atlanta +0.
Vegas wants this shit to end in a tie.
I'm going to go with the Falcons.
Yeah, give me the Falcons because fuck the Steelers.
Yeah. Emphasis on the fuck. Excuse my language. And then we have the Packers versus the Bears.
Is Aaron Rodgers playing?
Yeah, he said that he's expecting to play this week.
Is Justin Fields playing?
I'd imagine. I mean, he played last week, didn't he?
Yeah, but I don't know what he did. He's hurt right now, but
Yeah, he's not on the injury report.
oh, he's not?
I mean, this is all IR shit. So
Let me see. I'll click on it. Limited in practice, was held out of week 12 because of the shoulder issue. AC joint, basically what Baker had. He said today that he's feeling a lot better than he was. As a precaution, the Bears said Fields is very questionable for week 13, but a limited session to open the week is a positive sign. So chances are he's going to play.
I like Green Bay.
I like Green Bay only because I don't think they're going to let Justin Fields do a lot of running, and that's a huge part of why he's so successful. So for the sake of the game, I'll take Green Bay.
Yeah. Then we have the Jags versus the Lions. This is also Detroit is favored to win by +0. The over and under of this game is 51.5. I don't see that happening, but that's just me.
You don't?
I'm gonna go ahead and take the Jags.
This is 3 years ago. This would have been, what did you call it? Barn burner of the week or whatever, however we called it. This is going to be a good game. These offenses right now are playing really well. The Lions scored a lot on Buffalo, or they scored well on Buffalo. The Jaguars just knocked off Baltimore.
Yeah.
Both teams have had some wins that you really wouldn't have thought that they would have won against. So I'm pretty excited for this game. It really could go either way. I have a trend of riding with Detroit, so I'm going to continue that, and I'll pick Detroit.
I like it. I'm going with the Jags. Duval. Don't ask me why I know that. I just know that that's like their thing. Anyway, the next game is the Jets versus the Vikings. Minnesota is favored to win by 3. I feel like it should be a little bit more. But I'm going to go with the Vikings.
I'm sorry, I missed it. Who'd you say they were playing?
The Jets.
Okay. Yeah, give me Minnesota because we need the Jets to lose.
Yeah, the Vikings are still overrated. They've had a super easy schedule. They did beat the Bills, but still think they're overrated. But yeah, give me the Vikings. Then we have, this was my lock, the Commanders versus the Giants. This was your upset. You have the Giants beating the Commanders. Like I said, I think this could be a good game. I don't think these rivalries in this division, their games are always good. I mean, the Cowboys and the Giants game last week, I think was like I think they played on Monday night or Sunday night, but I think it was like the most watched primetime game this year, or something like that. And then Washington just beat Philly like 2 weeks ago. So, anyway, moving forward, we got the Titans versus the Eagles. Philly's favored to win by 5, and I'm going to take Philly. But I feel like this game could be closer than people expect.
I think the Titans are pretty slept on. A lot of their games, they seem pretty boring. I think like they don't really do a lot of flashy stuff aside from Derrick Henry, breaking a long run. But they're playing really well right now. Let's not kid ourselves there. But Philly last week, dude, Hurts and Miles Sanders combined for over 300 yards rushing.
He had 100 yards rushing in the first quarter.
Yeah, bro. And they put up 40. Quarter.
Who did they play?
Green Bay.
Yeah. He had 150 rushing yards and 150 passing yards. And I don't know how many touchdowns he had. And it was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, Jalen Hurts right now is the MVP of the league.
I think it's hard not to give it to him as of right now.
I think
he's
makes
definitely in the conversation if you have to pick
case.
I mean, Mahomes and Allen are in the conversation, but if you're talking
I think it
MVP,
was
you have to bring up Allen.
3 weeks ago, Josh Allen, you could argue, was the MVP, but then they had a rough stretch. He got hurt. There was games where he really wasn't playing the best. You have the fumble against Minnesota. Jalen Hurts has just been on another level the entire season. Yep. I mean, they have the loss to Washington where, I don't know, the game, there was definitely questionable calls and officiating. But like I said, I think right now, I don't think there's another player in the league that is playing better than Jalen Hurts. That's just me. Moving forward, I know a quarterback that is not playing as good as Jalen Hurts, and that is Russell Wilson of the Broncos. And the Broncos are playing the Ravens this week, and the Ravens are favored to win by -8. But Lamar Jackson just walked off practices today.
What?
Yeah.
Stop playing.
I swear to God. I just
He
saw it
walked
before.
off?
Yeah.
Why?
Let me look it up. Lamar Jackson.
Quad. Illness and hip injury have landed Jackson on the injury report over the last few weeks, but this new quad injury appears to be something new. He left practice with an injury, which makes this something to monitor in the game. Wow. Given the timing of the injury, it'll be interesting to see if he takes the field. Wow.
And you know, Lamar Jackson not playing in this game against the Broncos is a huge game changer. But the Broncos still don't fucking win. The Broncos still don't win.
I don't think it's as big of a game changer because Tyler Huntley is a real fucking deal.
It's not a game changer for the Broncos as an advantage towards them. It's just a game changer because the Ravens literally have to change their game. They have to change their
they have to change the quarterback, but they don't have to change the game plan because they're the same type of quarterback.
Literally. This is me just saying the Denver Broncos are dumpster juice.
They're so bad, bro.
We've been saying all year they'll get it together. They're not gonna.
They're not gonna get it together.
Absolutely,
not at this point.
No.
You're starting to see dysfunction on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
Defensive guys yelling at Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Teammates not showing up to Russell Wilson's birthday party. That was today's breaking news.
I saw that. It's a shit
all
show.
I know is if I'm on the Broncos and Sierra invites me to Russell Wilson's birthday party, I'm going to Russell Wilson's birthday party. So
I ain't going for Russell Wilson.
Exactly. So the fact that players didn't show up, sure, it could be brushed under the rug, but I think it's a little bit more telling than people want to realize.
Right.
Moral of the story, it doesn't matter if fucking Lamar's quarterback, Tyler Huntley's quarterback, or they bring back Joe Flacco. They're not losing to the fucking Broncos.
Absolutely not. Give me the Ravens.
Give me the Ravens, in case the statistician was unclear on who we were picking.
Then we have the Browns versus the Texans. Give me the Browns. I'm not even going to get into anything. Give me the Browns.
Give me
5-14.
the Browns in a hell of a lot of Watson touchdowns.
Like I'm asking for diarrhea. Give me the Browns.
I want the Browns to win, and I want about 7 air guitar celebrations and about 4 bow and arrow celebrations from Deshaun Watson. Nothing less.
Yeah. Give me the Browns. That's all I'm going to say. Then we have Seattle versus the Rams. Give me Seattle.
Did you see how many players were inactive for the Rams this week?
Nope, don't care. They're done.
Stafford,
They're
Robinson,
tanking.
Kupp. I'm pretty sure Akers. Aaron Donald's not playing. They are going to get mollywopped.
No, they're tanking. I read online that if they don't get it together, Cooper Kupp's not coming back for the season. Why would he?
Bullshit. Oh, and this year? Oh, no.
No, he's done.
I told you that. I said that. If they didn't start winning games, there's no reason to bring him back.
Oh.
Why?
Let Matthew Stafford just be out the rest of the season. You're not going to make the playoffs.
They're gonna if they continue to lose, they're like, if they don't bring players back and they're just like, oh, quad injury, random ass injuries, they're 1,000,000% tanking, and they're 1,000,000% going to try and draft Matthew Stafford's replacement.
Because at this point, they're literally the 4th worst team in the NFL.
Yeah.
There's no point to even go on a playoff run.
No, hell no.
So,
not in that division.
No. So, yeah, give me Seattle. And then this was my upset, Miami versus San Francisco. This is in San Francisco. The Niners are favored to win by 4. I said give me the Dolphins.
Yeah, give me 2 of them boys.
It'll be a good game, but I know they said
this game, dude. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. There's a lot more to this game than people realize because Mike McDaniel was an assistant to Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. Jeff Wilson was a running back for San Francisco.
Yep.
Raheem Mostert was a running back for San Francisco last year. I'm pretty sure the Dolphins, I don't know if they have Fred Warner, but he was on San Francisco. It's going to be a very, very, very good game, and I expect a lot more offense than people probably think there will be coming from San Fran, but it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, Give me Miami. Then this was your lock,
Oh.
Kansas City.
The Dolphins don't have Fred Warner, so let me correct myself. I don't want to get made look like an idiot, but
This was your lock, Kansas City over the Bengals. And for the sake of the Browns, I'm gonna roll with Kansas City. We want the Bengals to lose, but I also think Kansas City beats them too. So, nevertheless, now we have the Chargers versus the Raiders in Las Vegas. This is a telling game because Josh Jacobs has been going nuclear. Leads the league in rushing. Had 59 fantasy points last week. And that team is still sitting at 4-7, and they have Devontae Adams. It's interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm going to pick the Chargers.
Yeah, dude, they're just a better team. The Chargers are going to win this game.
I know. It's just so confusing why you have a decent quarterback. Because let's be honest, Derek Carr he's decent. Devontae Adams is a top 5 wide receiver in the league. And Josh Jacobs has just been playing great. And then has Darren Waller been playing? Or no, is he hurt?
He's on the IR.
Okay. So on paper they have a good team, but give me the Chargers. Then we have the dumpster fire Colts versus the Cowboys in Dallas. Dallas is favored to win by 11. So give me Dallas.
Yeah, I'm taking Dallas in this game. I don't know what's going on with Indy. They had a good first week with Jeff Saturday, and then they had a piss poor game on Monday night with the time management. But Dallas is just a better team. Let's not kid ourselves here. With Zeke and Pollard and CeeDee Lamb and Dalton Schultz, they're clicking offensively. So I expect Dallas. You said the spread was 11?
Yeah.
Yeah, I fully expect to be 11 plus.
Yeah, they said I just read a tweet. Odell Beckham starts his tour because he's not going back to the Rams. Let's be honest here. At this point, your whole team's injured. You're 3-8. You're not a contender. He ain't going to the fucking Rams. I think he starts out at the Giants, another team, and then he ends in Dallas for visits and stuff. I think he goes to Dallas, if you ask me. I don't really think he does much because you have so many people that the ball has to go around to. But nevertheless, it'll be interesting to see where he goes. Just wanted to throw that in there since we were talking about the Dallas game. Last but not least, we have the New Orleans Saints versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In Tampa Bay, Monday Night Football. Tampa Bay is favored to win by 3.5. Not a game I really care to watch, but I'm going to go with the Buccaneers.
They suck, man.
Yeah.
This is just a boring game.
Yeah, it's not anything I'm really looking forward
I'll take
to
Tampa Bay. I don't really care about it. Don't want to get into it. I'll just take Tampa Bay.
Yeah, yeah. So that's going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Apologize for our little 2-week hiatus, but we're back. Excited to cover these last 6 weeks of the Browns and talk a lot about Deshaun Watson and hopefully some playoffs. So thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we drop episodes every Thursday, and as always, we'll see you guys on the other side.